Hey, what's up everyone, this is Jin. Today we will take a deep look into down air. Down air is the best aerial Jigglypuff has, and I'm here to share the knowledge about how to best use this move. So first I'm gonna talk a bit about the move, the frame data, the hitbox, the damage output. Obviously I'm gonna talk about the down air loops, which is very important, but as well as other techniques, perform 2 lead to down air or to hit 1 down air. And finally I will give you 2 combos for each slice of percent, low percent, mid percent, high percent, to actually use down air. So down air is the down aerial move Jigglypuff has, and it has been quite an interesting move. This is a move that has been buffed during the 6.0 patch, if I recall correctly. So this is a very interesting move. So it's a frame 7 aerial, which is pretty good, meaning it's frame 10 out of shield or out of jump, and more importantly it's a 9 hit multi-hit, and like there are several ticks every 3 frames, and the ticks actually last for a few frames as well, so it's actually pretty interesting. If you hit a full down air, you will hit almost 18%. 18% unstale is kind of crazy. Can you imagine? Like, this kind of damage output Jigglypuff has is actually crazy. People don't really realize that until they get like in close range with Jigglypuff and they just get hit like 3 or 4 times and they are like 50%. I'm just like, yes. Puff hits like a truck, and downer is pretty much a good example of the damage output Jigglypuff has, and yeah, it's interesting. What is down air? Down air hitbox is located. There are 2 different hitbox. There is like an hitbox on the lower part of the Jigglypuff's body, which is pretty small, and there is like another hitbox on the legs, which is a bit bigger. And it's interesting to know that these 2 hitbox don't send the same way, so you want to kind of get a good glimpse of that. But what is very important to know, and that's going to be a huge point for the Dair Loops, is that you can kind of control which way your opponent is going to be sent after you hit the final hit of down air. And I'm going to show on screen the line. This is made by Drake, a Puffcord admin and a very important person for the Jigglypuff metagame, so thank you, Drake. You can see that the line, so there's 2 parts, and if your opponent is in the forward part, like in front of Jigglypuff, pretty much they will be sent in front of Jigglypuff. And you can see on the other way, the tiny part will send your opponent backwards. And let's jump right into the Dair Loops, because Dair Loops is a very interesting combo. What is a Dair Loop? A Dair Loop is a combo of down air at low percent, where you want your opponent to actually pop backwards, and because you are doing short up down air and they are popping backwards and you have backwards momentum, it will actually automatically do a chain landing. There is a video about chain landing on this channel. It's in French, but it has English subtitles. Very important. And those actually made this video, so go check it after this video. So the first one, short up down air. You make sure that pop behind you. Backwards momentum, chain landing. Short up down air. Short up down air. Short up down air. Short up down air. You can see if you've been a subscriber to this channel. By the way, subscribe, like, and comment this video, please. This is for the algorithm. you probably have seen the Dair Loops challenge that I've posted, and it's basically a training to actually get a good idea of the movement of that is required to do the Dair Loops. I think the down air challenge, once you are able to hit like at any try pretty much 100 combo, and it will give you like the movement, the good movement. Yeah, you can usually loop up to 6 or 7 loops, so 6 or 7 down airs, but most of the time you will loop 3 or 4. 3 or 4 is already pretty good. Remember, I said down air is a 18% damage move. So if you're doing like 3 or 4, even with tail move and the short up macro calculator, it's still very decent damage. The Dair Loops can actually be a combo starter in its own, because down air is a combo starter for many things at mid%, and the Dair Loops is actually a pretty good combo to low percent until mid%. But there is another one that is actually only available on pretty much like the platforms stage, and it involves the Zoop Utilt technique. So basically you're doing like the same short up down air, and you make sure that your opponent is popping it backwards once again. And while you are doing a down air, you will hold C stick up with tilt, stick, C stick up, and continue your backwards momentum, and you will see that your Jigglypuff will actually do a Shen sliding up tilt, which I call the Zoop up tilt, under the platform. The up tilt at low percent after a down air is pretty much guaranteed to send them in a tech situation that Sing will catch every time. It actually works. So you're doing down air, Zoop up tilt, immediately full up Sing. You can buffer the whole thing, to be honest, so it's pretty execution wise, it's pretty easy. You will get a sleeping opponent on a platform at like, it should be between 25 and 30%. Well, even if they can mash out of sleep. There are several combos that you can do, and even if you're doing something really fast like up tilt rest, still an absurd amount of damage that you can do from basically 0. Like imagine starting all your stock and your opponent is always at like 70 or 80%. You're only playing the late game. It will require you to actually train that a bit, but you'll get used to it, and it's actually very good. So that's the 2 combos at low percent. The Dair Loops and down air, Zoop Utilt Sing, punish. I'm first going to talk about like instant double jump down air. In several situations, instant double jump is performed by doing like tapping jump twice during the jump squat animations. A lot of stuff like landing up air or up tilt, that kind of stuff lead to instant double jump down air. You'll get very high in the air, and you will be actually able to use down air, and this time you actually want them to pop in front of you. And if you do that with the right momentum, like going towards them, instant double jump down air rest is a true combo. So basically, let's say you're, I don't know, 30%, landing up air, instant double jump down air, onwards, momentum, rest. This is, okay, interestingly enough, this is actually the punish I try to use after I do the Zoop Utilt Sing setup. If you link these two blocks of combos, you actually get a kill at 0. Maybe the thing I've teased the most about this down air guide, if you've been following me like Discord, Twitter, you might have seen that I've claimed 9 out of 10 success rate on down air to rest with one simple trick. This has been quite a discussion topic for some of you, so let's talk about that. First, that's something I've been talking about since July of 2020. So some of you actually already know, and this is just like some kind of stuff that Canon Red and we kind of experienced with back in July 2020. Recently, I actually started to use it more on a different set of characters, and oh my gosh, this is actually the future of Jigglypuff. 45% or so. And they are doing something on your shield that is unsafe, that is like worse than -10. It means you can have a down air as a true punish. And let me tell you that this technique, which is called the Rising Drill Rest, RDR, is actually an out of shield punish. But you can do it like in neutral, by the way, or as a with punish move. But this is the first intent of this technique is to actually be used out of shield, out of parry. And I'm gonna show example with inputs on screen, because I think this is more about inputs than anything else what my explanation can actually provide. But you're doing a short up rising drill, so short up down air, and you start fast falling during the down air. And Jigglypuff will actually do. And the thing is, if you're doing it right, the last hit of the down air will not hit, and you will actually just end up with your opponent landing inside your opponent. And they often will be in a frame disadvantage compared to you. And Rest, being a frame 2 move, will actually often be quick enough. It's actually insane. It's actually insane how good this is, for real. You can try it. It takes a lot of practice. It's not easy. It's like, it might be one of the hardest technique Jigglypuff has right now. But once you are actually able to master it, it's actually insane, because it means that Jigglypuff, starting at 45, 50, has a kill confirm on a badly spaced attack on your shield, on a parry, out of parry. This is insane. This is insane, because that's the range where Jigglypuff needed something else. Like she couldn't convert like a up air rest or that kind of stuff. Now she has. RDR. Shoutouts to Canon to actually show me that. Let me tell you that this is with training mode, and the CPU is actually buffering shield. Even if the combo counter says it's not true, it is actually true. Like, just so that be clear. And I want you to know also, by the way, before you just YOLO your way out, drill RDR all the way in every single games, it works better on certain characters. And there is like a drill frame advantage spreadsheet, and you can see that depending on the character, the typical frame advantage that you can get differs. Like that's why, for example, it's easier to drill rest Pikachu than it is to drill rest heavy, super heavy like Bowser or Carol, because the frame advantage you get is different. So that's why it's so hard to actually drill rest heavies. Let's say you just hit a Dair Loops. You just hit a Dair Loops and your opponent is like at 45, a bit more. They're in threat of that. And considering you might have only lost neutral once, you are not at kill % yet, so I mean, I hate to say that, but you gotta play the odds sometimes. Like you can actually play the odds and roll the dice. So yeah, the game is at high %. You did not manage to get a spicy instant double jump down air rest, or even better, RDR rest to close up the stock, but your opponent is at high %. Down air is still a very useful move. And this time I'm going to talk about something I've talked about in the past, and it's going to be attack cancel back air. If you do a short up down air and they pop in front of you at high %, there's a good chance that you can actually follow up with a fast fall attack cancel back air straight away. Depending on the eye, this is not a kill confirm, but pretty much you will be able to hit that kind of combo. So down air high %, I'm talking about like 80 to 110. Back air is actually a very good edge guard setup move. Down air attack cancel back air. I've done an attack cancel back air video that you can check here. I'll be honest, I don't have another combo at high % involving down air, sorry, but I will give you something that is even better. You can actually not use the last hit of the move, and you actually, if you do that, you will end up auto-cancelling your down air. Either they get hit or not. It will put the two of you in a RPS, rock paper scissors situation. Rock paper scissors is like the essence of Smash, and let me tell you that players never expect grab from Jigglypuff, and I've talked a bit about that in a video as well. And they don't expect the grab from Jigglypuff, meaning they think that the option you are going to choose is attack, and the answer to attack is shield, but the answer to shield is grab. And if you do a down air auto consult, you will be in a situation where the rock paper scissors will trigger instantly, and they will have to take a decision. the panic option will so many times be shield. So many times it will be shield. Means that you get a free grab. And this is insane because grab has a good value for Jigglypuff. Grab, pummel, 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 down throw, that's like 4 spots in your stealth queue that has been cleared. And this is 20% for your opponent. So think about that. Think about that, and this is actually usable at like most percent. Most percent you can use that. Like it's not a high percent only kind of thing. Alright, so I've been talking about combos, I've been talking about like the move, the frame data. I've actually didn't talk that much about the usage. The usage down there is not your typical neutral opening move, but it's more like a whiff punishing kind of move, I feel like, or a punish out of shield kind of move. And that's how you kind of want to use that. There are a few ways to actually lead to down air that are very great and that use like more neutral tools. Pound for example. At low percent you can do short up pound, fair into dash down air and start your loops from there, for example. It's actually a pretty great loops setup, but don't really use down air in neutral. There's a good situation where you want to use neutral, down air. Another situation where you want to use down air is when your opponent's shield is low, because down air being a multi-hit will actually poke your opponent's shield. It's pretty great because that gives you a free opening. Another situation where you want to use down air is to actually pressure your opponent that is on the platform above you. You're just doing instant double jump down air. You will get free pressure, free shield damage on your opponent, and yeah, maybe they will try to jump out of shield, which is a terrible idea against down air because it always lasts longer than you think it does. Pretty much free pressure, and it's actually so safe. Down air coupled with Jigglypuff's aerial mobility makes it very safe when you're pressuring your shield above you, because depending on the situation you can start like fleeing pretty much during the down air because you still have good controls over your character, and depending on character you either want to go in front or behind them. For example, don't go behind, don't cross up DK for example, or Crumbs or something like that kind of character, but instead you typically if you are pressuring a DK on the platform that is above you, you want to end up in front of them, right? Because they cannot just like shot up fair, it's like way too slow, and it comes down to character knowledge and matchup knowledge. But this situation, if you are ever in this situation, it's pretty great to actually take the free damage on the shield or directly on your opponent. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say about down air. Sorry, I've been a bit slacking to do this video. I've tried to record it once and it was not as good as I wanted. But yeah, thanks to our members. We have so many members lately. Thanks for that. That's actually very, very nice. Thanks for your support, like all the members on screen right now. You can become a member starting at $2 a month. This helps the channel, this helps us unlocking super nice emotes on the chat. And yeah, thank you for your support. By the way, thank you for everyone that actually watched this video. This is a daily uploading channel. This is a good grind, every time. I try to include something new, and there are people now, I know that they watch every day, they comment every day, and this is actually a very, very nice, something very nice and something I wanted to achieve when I started this channel. So I'm glad we are finally making it to that. We're almost at 2K. 2K will be insane. 2K will be insane. That'd be great. That would be great. Like reaching 2K, cool. For Puff Jigglypuff Metagame channel, nice. So yeah, join the Puff Club as well, the Discord, link in the description of every single video. It's a very chill place and welcoming for everyone to actually discuss about like this channel, but also just chill and obviously learning about the character, etc. Like, people will help you in that. Tell me if you enjoyed this video. I hope you did. Put a like, put a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I don't ask you to actually ring the bell or whatever, but if you wish to do it, please do it. I'll see you next time. Ciao.